Hello and welcome to another episode of Sticky Situation. We're going to be doing a fun little project this time, and it's going to be kind of weather permitting project, so we're going to have to wait for a little while. It might take us a few weeks, maybe a month to do it, but the project is going to be building an outdoor ice rink. So I'm going to be building it back here in the backyard. It's going to be a 40 foot by 40 foot. So should be fun for the kids, should be fun for me, because I'll get to skate on it anytime I want. But of course we have to wait for it to get cold enough to freeze. Right now it's getting down to just below freezing at night, but during the day, like right now, it's about 55 degrees out here. So I can freeze it at night, but it's gonna melt all day, so we gotta wait for probably another month. But I still got a lot to do before I can actually even put up the rink. I have to build some brackets. I have to get the boards all set up. Then I have to get the liner and put it all in, and then I got to flood it, and so on and so forth. But what we're going to show you is how I'm going to build the brackets. So I got a bunch of metal brackets. I've got to weld them so they're the right size, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to connect them together. And then we'll decide on what we want to do for the board materials, how tall we want to make it, and all sorts of fun things like that. So anyway, come along for this journey. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited for it because, of course, it's fun for me. So stick around. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave a comment down below. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is making a whole bunch of angle brackets. I bought a bunch of these metal brackets right here. Got them for a screaming good deal on a pallet. The only problem is they are not 90 degrees, as you can see. So what I've been doing, cutting them right here and then bending them into place for that, and then I'm going to weld them, just put a little tack weld in there so we get a good 90-degree board. So these should work really good for my boards. I can either make them long ways, which is probably better for support, or if I want really tall walls or whatever. So I'm going to make these. I probably am going to need probably 4 for every 8 feet. So I will probably need about 80 of these brackets in order to do the whole rink, maybe a couple more. So, but luckily I got like 200 of these, so I can do one every 1 foot if I need to. So what I'll do is I'll weld these up, then I'm going to run 2x4s across them, drill a hole in the back here so that I can run a spike into the ground with it, so it'll hold it in place. So I just got to cut and weld and tack a whole bunch of these ones, and then we're going to screw some boards on them to just kind of see how they hold and what else we can do. Should be fairly simple. It's just time consuming. So let's get started on that. So I just have to do that, well, about 75 more times. 1 every 2 feet. Which means 20, 40, 60, 80. More or less. A little bit less, but 76. Either way, I still got a lot of these to do. I won't make you watch it all. It's the same process. I cut it, I ford it, I make it a 45, I weld it, and I drill a bigger hole in this part right here because my pegs, which are going to hold it into the ground, will go right through here. Like that. It's really going to be these ways, but yeah. Go into the ground, lock it in place, spike it in so it stays, and then I will bolt 2x4 across the front here, 2x4 across right here, and then I will stick the plate, the 16-inch board right there. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm cutting my sidewalls for the rink. So I've cut them at 16 inches. That way I can get 3 out of each sheet. So it only takes me like 5 sheets to do the whole rink because I'm only doing them 16 inches, and that's why I'm doing them 16 inches, because then I get 3 equal sheets out of it. And I'm just using the 5/8 plywood for that. So I've got my other boards backing it, so I don't really think I need to be much thicker than that. So that's the plan with that, and then we'll put the brackets together, and I'll do this across the front of it after I put the liner on. So I'm going to put the liner on, then I'm going to stick these boards up against it. I think that'll protect the liner more and give me more backing. I also want to paint them. So anyway, I'm going to finish cutting them, and then we'll get to paint. Now I've got some of the brackets put together, and then I bought a bunch of the wood and stuff. I'm building the sides, so this is kind of what I'm doing with them. I put the brackets in, and then nail on 2 of these So one across the bottom, two across the top. Sorry, there's not a lot of room to show you it, but this is kind of the way it's looking. We got our 16-inch tall part here, and then after I put the liner in, then I will put those pieces of plywood that I cut up across the front here to kind of protect it, so we have something to run the pucks into plus everything else. So I'll kind of show you how I built these ones, how I put them together, and we'll go from there. Okay, the first thing I'm doing, I'm getting my straightest 2x4 because I want this one to be my main one, and then I'm measuring out where my brackets are going to be, which I'm putting them at 22 inches apart just because that equals out on my 8-foot easiest. And these aren't like pure 8-foots. I got the cheaper ones that are like $1 less because they're this much shorter. It's the stupidest thing in the world. I don't know why $1 difference for 4 inches makes a difference. Anyway, so measuring those out, putting them on a 22 inches. But it's got to have a 3-inch. They're not all straight to the edge. Oh my gosh, I need to make a heavier tape measure. So I'm doing 3 inches from the edge, and then 22 inches between them from that point. And then on these ones, because my brackets, they have this little lip on it, I'm actually notching the 2x4 so it sits down over the top of this. So this part will go right against the ground, the 2x4 will sit on top right here. So I've got to notch each one of those marks on there, and then the other two will get screwed in across this part here. But for now, got to notch those holes, then I can stick these in here like this, and I will show you how I do that. Now, cutting these notches in does ruin the integrity of the 2x4, so my option was either to cut out the piece of metal and lay it flat across there, which would have been better, except for the fact that I didn't want to cut that much metal because that would have taken me 5 times longer. So just notch it out. So far they've held pretty good. I can't just be throwing them around though, so I mean, once they're in place, it doesn't matter. They're going to be solid into the ground, so it doesn't really make much difference. But for now, notching them works okay. Now these fit right in there perfect like that. And then I just screw them in. Have this gauge pre-marked so I know exactly how far in I need them. And just like that. So that's how it is. It sits like this. And then I can put the bolts in through the back there to hold it to the ground. But that's pretty much what it is. Let's get the rest of them stuck on there. Okay, and then next I just nail them or screw them down to the other brackets. And that is how I'm putting my frames together. So, flips up. We're good to go. Just like 25 more of those and we're good. Halfway there, right? Quarter, something. Anyway, plug it on. Alright, so it ends up being 35 feet by 40 feet. So, still good size. All right, so I've got some of the walls built up and put in place. I've kind of stacked them up. I'll show you what I got so far. We've got these. So more or less half. I'm gonna finish constructing a few more, but that's kind of the size we're looking at right now. That's where we're going to. There's another thing I'm gonna work on today though. I'm doing that kind of inside, one little piece at a time. But the other thing I need to put in is a light post for this corner. So what I have done here is dug this pit here. Because that pit's gonna have the pole go in there so that I can run a line from the side of the house all the way out to here and support the net and everything else. Plus we need some light. So this is my light post right down here. And some things I've done on it. You can look, and I've got drilled some holes in it, put some rebar across because I'm just gonna put that in, and I've got my electrical cable wire that's going to bury in there, so I'm just going to lift this up and bury it into the ground right here in that pit and then cement it in. So let's check to see if it fits and get cracking on that. All right, so I got a make a hole in that light post slash support post and everything else. So I need to put this eye bolt in there so we can run the wire from that side to the house so we can support our netting so we don't lose all of our pucks far away. So I'm gonna drill that hole now. Should be super fun. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Gonna have to wait till the next week or so to get everything finished. What we're gonna do is put everything together and then finish up the light posts, get the power lines dug for that one and everything. So do that on the next episode, but at least enjoy this first part of getting these built. We're all ready to put them together and build our whole outside rink and then get the liner in. So just gotta wait for it to get cold as usual, and then we'll put the rink down. So thanks again for coming along. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we appreciate all you've done for helping us on this channel. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.